We the People 3. Like We the People need a third party kind of thing. But We the People, the third rendition of the show. I feel blessed this morning to be here, and I say, hey, thank you, God. And I kind of like always give a good prayer, like, hey, dear Lord, thank you for the weed we're about to receive. Bless the hands that procured it, got it to us, made sure that it was nice and safe and delicious and tasty and healing. And I mean, forgive those who impede the holy herb from reaching the people. In Ja's, God, Allah, Buddha, and all deities' holy names, I say Amen. So, again, welcome to the show. And like I said, bless the herb, bless Mother Nature. And my name is Broads Pierre. And again, this is We the People 3, premiering here live at the studios. Herb, can you tell me again what's the name of this little secret location that we're in, the bunker, I like to call it? My,
New Alliance Radio and Studio.
yeah, baby love. Giving them a shout out, New Alliance Studios. And again, give them a shout out, give them some love, because they're giving me this platform to actually have a show and do my thing and just kind of like be able to speak my mind once in a while. The thing is, it's like I love to speak, but getting the opportunity to speak and getting in front of people, it's been lacking lately because of COVID-19. I used to do stand-up comedy, did what's called my day gig was actually talking to people about life insurance, and I still do that, and I'll talk to y'all about that at other venues and stuff like that. But I just like to let y'all know that is important, you know. And people say all lives matter. Ensure what matters, I say. That was my little plug. But anyway, what I like to say is, like, again, We the People 3 is like the third time's a charm kind of thing. So I'm hoping that third rendition of this show, because I'll show y'all all the different versions of the show that I procured, and I'll tell y'all intricate stories about backroom stories, because you know they were my shows, you know, different producers and stuff. You know, one's even my cousin, still cuz. What's up, brother love? But he's busy. But I love the fact that the last location of the show, I geared it towards promoting entrepreneurship, especially among African Americans. And this particular version, you know what I'm saying, I'm kind of like, again, going to be changing the format because we're no longer in that location. And because of the location, we had a motif where, oh, man, and Microsoft Word. You know, I'm giving you a little shout out because, you know, you got the little sound. So, you know, Apples and Macs, or Apples and IBMs, or Apples and PCs. That's what it is. Apples and PCs. All right. We're back. We're back on the air. You know, we're experiencing technical difficulties, as they like to call them, you know. But again, give Herb a shout out. My man Herb, he is the producer, debonair, that actually was putting us in the air. And I do swear he is the man with the savoir-faire and the technical know-how that's getting this down. Like I said, this is the new dungeon, place that I'm actually allowed to let my thoughts roam free and be free, you know what I'm saying? All I want to do is be free, be liberated, so I can be me. And that's all I can be and all I can do. So this is what I'm going to try to do, is actually be myself and just kind of be the inquisitive one who has questions, but I like connecting dots. You know, I like jumping the gun to theories and stuff. But you know, people think like, yo, why do you always like thinking they're conspiracy theories? Well, first of all, conspiracies exist, and so do theories. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, sometimes, like, one of my gigs is actually being called the Green Comedian. So as the Green Comedian, I like to recycle my jokes. Tell me if you've heard that one before. Just kidding. Like, no, it's kind of messed up. Like, whenever you like go to a green room in most studios, you don't find green. You know, like, I'm like, yo, why do you call it a green room? You know, I thought it was a studio. But anyway, so as a Green Comedian, like I said, I'm pro environment. I'm pro Mother Earth, pro money, pro marijuana. Yeah. Again, that's one of the things that's put on the planet for mankind to be able to live with. And we've got thousands of years of experience using it, but somehow or another, people can place a law telling you can't enjoy Mother Nature. It's like, if your law is so strong, how come you can't outlaw earthquakes, tornadoes, like you're saying outlaw things that actually kill people, like poverty, famine. It's like the only law I actually believe in is the law of gravity. Because it applies to everyone everywhere at the same time, so it's actually constant. And it's not blind. And no, it is blind, so it's like it treats everyone the same way. Our justice system is not blind. And that's one of the things. That's why, again, that's what's going on right now. Another reason why Herb invited me here is like he wanted to hear a brother's perspective on what's going on. And no one, I am someone, but you know what I mean. Like no one, like just kind of like, hey, I have no agenda, but just kind of like want to share my experience and my thoughts. And I do have like kind of a unique take on a lot of different um, um, experiences or events that are going on. Not that unique, but again, because of my upbringing and my background, I feel that again it'd be something where it adds a little more nuance or a little flavor. I hope to the conversation, and that's the whole thing. It's like I want to create dialogue here and have people be able to call in and talk. So this is kind of like the pilot show. I don't have like any particular guests, so I figure as a pilot show, just get my stuff off. So when I do have people on, they can get their shine on. So again, just kind of introducing myself, We the People 3, and again, giving a shout out to New Alliance Studios for putting this on together. Ooh, again, it's a secret location, dungeon, but give them some love, and just kind of like want to go through just what's going on with We the People. Um, the thing I like to do is like kind of like bring different information, things that aren't well known out. Hopefully, that's interesting enough to hey, this is hey, just kind of like tune in. Um, Before I could start into the giving go into talk about, I want to kind of like shout out to cousin. I'm gonna take the headphones off. Oh, whatever. But anyway, she made these masks. Pretty cool. Kind of like I said, let me give her a shout out. Oh, well, it's intertwined now with this. No, but it's pretty cool. So this is what you can do with these masks. So first of all, she makes them with like African fabric. Okay. And then so you can take the mask like this. It's got a little wire, and you can even put your own filter into it. I'm doing a little plug for her. And so you can you can wash them by hand or in the washing machine. But when you do this, and it forms to your face and sticks. I mean, and you tie it up over here or however you want to tie it up. But nice mask and stuff. So well designed. As a matter of fact, I had a couple of people actually take pictures of the design just to kind of like see what it was like to kind of figure out things was going on with it. They were like, "Ooh, that's pretty cool." They like the print. They definitely like the print because it like stands out. And then when they kind of like looked at it, they were like, "Yo, how's it working?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, my cousin makes these." So anyway, I'm gonna plug out right now. My first shout out. And then she, asked me to do this. I'm just doing this out of pure love and appreciation because again, I support small businesses, entrepreneurship. So if you're starting out your business, you let me know about it. I definitely want to promote it. So give her some love, Jazara. And you can look her up on Instagram at Jazara Fashion House or on Facebook, Jazara Fashion House. That's JAZAR Fashion House. So JAH. Oh my God! See, I can't even read on air. Like Ja, as in Ja Rastafari, and Zara. So JAH. I guess that's Ja. Is that the word for God in patois? Ja Rastafari. I don't know. Yeah. But I do know that like because they do say, yeah, give it up to Ja. Yeah, that's what probably. So anyway, give her some love. It's called a reusable face mask or reusable face covering. That's what it's called. So anyway, give her a plug right there, and that's what I wanted to do. And again, actually a plug back to the studio that we're in. My man Dave Tree, give him a shout out, like give him some love, because actually he's one of the few people that definitely hooked me up, like to do comedy at his place. He's had a few studios, and this is another rendition. The New Alliance is part of his new gig, and I appreciate him putting this out and having this space available for people to be able to meet up and speak out. Again, like many things, it's like it's the voice, the people's voice that need to be heard, and that's why I feel like I'm speaking out is to be we the people, the people's voice. Because sometimes people don't understand what thoughts are going through their minds, and if they hear someone else say it, they're like, "Oh yeah, that does make sense," and I do think that way. So I hope that I can be that kind of voice where it's like they didn't know that that was a possibility, and then you just say something that's like, "Oh yeah, that kind of makes sense," and it clicks. So thank you again for this opportunity, giving Dave Tree a shout out. Because actually, Dave, one of the main reasons I love the dude, like because of his honesty and his like jovial nature. Well, also he had a T-shirt that I was like, I can't argue with that, and I actually incorporated it. It's like I wish I still had it, but unfortunately some acid got on it and it ate through the fabric. Battery acid, that is. So it was called God Grows Grass. So I love that T-shirt where it's like it just shows Jesus holding a marijuana plant and saying, "Yeah, how can you argue with that? Like it's part of Mother Nature. Like if you're gonna like outlaw anything in Mother Nature, outlaw, like I said, hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, you know, things, things that destroy homes and stuff like that. Show me your real power right there. If your laws are so strong, like combat famine, outlaw poverty. So, but again, they'll outlaw people getting together. They'll outlaw, like, hey, cheating and eating and cheating, whatever. It's just kind of like the whole thing that is, it's a social construct. Laws are basically social constructs. So it's like the only benefit or the only good thing about being in a religion is the only thing that they reward is obedience. That's all religion wants, is you to comply and just listen to them, don't question them. And it's like that's all they reward is obedience. Everything else, it's like if you question them, then they're like, you're a heretic, you're evil. And like again, religion was the first form of government that we had, and then after that we went to like kings and queens. So we had like the courts and the different hierarchies, but they basically followed the same thing. Like in the past, actually, the priests were able to get married, and the what stopped the priests from getting married was essentially the Catholic Church was losing property with the fact that when the kids inherited the church, they weren't necessarily loyal to back to Rome. So essentially, what the Catholic Church did was like, okay, they said like the day that you pass out the bread, again, business decisions. Everything comes down to money, and that's what Jesus was about. Yes, no, he was not about the money. All right, Jesus came in there and threw the money makers out, and that's when they said like, you gotta go kill Jesus. I believe if he did come back again today, Jesus would be killed by the CIA for them to maintain the status quo. Hey, the status quo has got to go. So, because again, people are in power, going to do everything possible to maintain their power. They're never like, if the space aliens came here and said we can cure everything, they'd still be like, we're gonna kill you and then take the cure and sell the cure. That's what it is. It's about the dollar. So back to religion being our first form of government, and the fact that it's that's all they want you is to be blindly obedient and to listen, not to question anything. So going to the fact that at one point in time, the church property was being inherited by the offsprings of the priests, but the priests back then were able to get married. If you guys want to check out the kind of a drama, the Borgias on either on Netflix or it's like it was a HBO show or one of those, like it's like the Tudors, but it was called the Borgias, and it was about the Catholic Church and how it was like poisoning, manipulation, and actually the Catholic Church at one point in time was the biggest purchasers of weapons. So it's like tells you like who the biggest they were the biggest purchasers of weapons of arms in the world at their height. So that tells you again, government. The only thing about government is to maintain their status quo. And I remember in political science 101, they're like going like, in order to have a strong democracy, you must have a strong police force. And they're like, and I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. It does make sense because it's like, although it's a democracy, you want the cops to be able to enforce the laws, and people be like, well, I'm free. It's a democracy, so I don't have to do. They're like, no, you have to make people comply with the law. So it was kind of a crazy oxymoron to think about it that way. But again, going back to the Catholic Church, the thing with, I think not Saint Gregory, Pope Gregory or whatever, like is, kids didn't he didn't, I can't remember which pope it was exactly, but anyway, it was kind of like a power structure, and then they were able to have children. The popes had offsprings and stuff, and then tried to work within the system. And so again, if you guys have a chance, watch it. I'll be plugging a lot of things as far as like, hey, there's stuff on YouTube. Like if you guys, again, I'm actually gonna plug this couple of things right now. I'm just gonna let you guys know. And pay attention, be able to write them down, or if they pop up on the screen. And things like Animal Farm, if you get a chance to watch that on YouTube. And it's a cartoon, and basically kind of shows you the digression of government, of like, hey, when you take power and allow the power to corrupt you. Anyway, you decide, you do the reading, you watch the movie. So I won't assign readings here. I'll assign videos and video watching, because that way it's like you're more likely to do it. Because it's like if I sign a book, you're like, man. No, I know, but I will plug in the book. This particular book, it's called Verbal Judo, and it's actually written by a police officer that had a PhD, and it talks about the fact that you can de-escalate a situation. How it's like use of police force, like it was required reading or training for a lot of police force, and it's called Verbal Judo. And bottom line is, all these police chiefs that are saying like, oh no, this particular book even tells you like, no, like use of deadly force is the last resort. And I've never seen half of these techniques used on this. I'm using this so I can get better at my day job, but I can't plug that like right too much right now, but I'm just gonna say that's why I'm learning how to use the verbal judo. These days I'm just going like hi-ya! That scares the people on the phone. So I don't, I didn't realize it meant actually learning how to have a conversation and be persuasive. I thought it was really just verbal, kind of like going like hi hoo-ah! All right, I'm sorry, that's me being silly. I grew up watching kung fu karate movies on Saturdays. Yes, as a kid, we'd make that sound, and I apologize for doing that. But again, we were kids. We didn't know it was wrong. Anyway.
Wu-Tang is forever.
Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Yes, shout out to Wu-Tang Clan. Oh my God, I want to mention this. If you guys did not watch this, 846 on YouTube with Dave Chappelle. Amazing commentary of what's going on or what his take on it. And again, give him a shout out for just being like, just kind of getting to the point and going through his personal history and sharing that with us. So yeah, that was really good. I was just watched that last night, and yeah, just wanted to kind of plug that in as well. If you guys did not get a chance to watch the Dave Chappelle 846, and that correlates to, I believe 846. No, 826 or 824 or 842. But I can't remember exactly what. 842, I think, was the date of his birthday. 820 or something like that was, there's something correlating, but that's the number, the minutes that the former officer had his knee on the neck of George Floyd. And yeah, this is kind of like, woo, thank you, people that are protesting. Got to give a shout out to all the people, the real people. Again, this is We the People. So I believe, like Dave Chappelle said, every institution we've ever had has lied to you. From the media to the church to the government to the kings to the queens, every single institution has lied to you. Just trust yourselves. That's what Jesus came down. He's like, yo, you don't need a church to be an intermediary between you and God. God's in you. Your spirit is here. And that's why they wanted to get rid of him. They're like, yo, we're getting our 10% every week, and he's going to try to shut that down. Shut Jesus down. And that's what they did. They put him on a cross and said he was a criminal for trying to heal people on a Sunday. They were like, yo, he didn't have his union card to be healing people on a Sunday. Let's go get that Jesus, motherfucker. That's literally what they, like, read your Bible, and that's what they literally got him on. They use the law. Laws are always used to justify evil. They use the law to justify slavery, and they use that effectively. Oh, the 3/5 human America, we the people, and that's what we're going to use the words. Again, 3/5 human. But go back to the Catholic Church and being the first form of government that we had. Again, it was about collecting the to 10% dues, make their money and grow the church. Again, in society, when you want to know what's controlling the society, you got to look at the biggest buildings that they have. All right. So right now, back then, it was like what? The pyramids, and then back then it was also the church. Actually, no, the pyramid, I can't even compare that. Like, it was like that it was real. For eons they couldn't even match up to what was going on with the pyramid, how it was built. They still can't figure out how it was actually built. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm just going to say, it's like when society started, like after AC, after Christ, when the society actually started after Christ. And then again, the biggest buildings that they were building were churches, the new churches and stuff. And then after that, the castles and the kings, and then after that, at a certain point in time, I believe it was like either like the tallest buildings were like the Pan Ams, the airlines, or the IBMs. And then now, these days, they're not being big buildings, but it's like, the banks, the insurance companies, they're like, what I mean, the big drivers of the economy and stuff like that. They're the ones that with the big giant buildings. And then, well, these days, the next realm of industry. That's another thing I like to point out too. It's never been religion, politics, or it's always been people's entrepreneurial and inventive spirit. It's science and technology that's always improved mankind's standing, and that's the thing too. They try to outlaw science and religion, the way for people to think, the way that people are supposed to examine and look at things. So with the thing with science and religion is the fact that science should be our religion. If we say we seek the truth, the light, and the way, isn't science what led us to the atomic bomb? Isn't science always seeking the truth, the mathematical truth, the number? And isn't the science the way that led us to space? But I don't even know why we're trying to get to space. We're already in a beautiful spaceship. It's like, hey, it's going around the sun. It feeds us. It takes care of us. We're living in a symbiotic relationship with the universe. If you think about it, Mother Earth is, we're here nurturing inside our mama's womb. And the solar rays, which is the father, the sun, shooting those solar rays, those sperm rays, boom, that's how life occurs. Because if the earth wasn't where it was and spinning the way it was, another shift, like the fact that we've got the axis tilted by 23% at 23 degrees, that's like so many factors, we would not be on this planet. So it's like one in a million, the craziness of us being here on this perfect place that can, like, Christopher Columbus discovered America, and he didn't have no combustible fuel. All right, he just used the sun and the wind. What's wrong with the sun and the wind? It's renewable energy, right? That's the green coming out, the green comic. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, the sun and the wind. Like, it's like the wind, it's like a free blowjob from God. You know what I'm saying? Just like, that's literally what it is. It turns them turbines and everything. And then when the wind ain't blowing, the sun is shining. When the sun ain't shining, the wind is blowing. And you got them tidal waves. God has given us energy. He said, harness the power of the earth. Like, so again, we're just not using our minds. We're being controlled by the people who's got the invested interest of the fossil fuel industry, the nuclear industry. Like, no, we can survive because the planet, we've been surviving for thousands of years without being on your teat, on your consumption teat. The reason why I say that is Freedom to Fascism by Aaron Russo. Check him out. He was the producer of Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. They wanted him to run for governor of Nevada, and he talked about meeting the Rockefellers. So watch that movie. It's a little documentary called Freedom to Fascism, and that's when he discovered that you didn't have to pay income tax. There's nowhere it's written in the books that you have to pay income tax. And people that work for the IRS, when he said, show me in the books where it is, a few people quit the IRS afterwards and wrote a letter saying, I ain't never paying my taxes no more because it's not in the books. It's basically, again, if everyone actually kind of like read up on the Constitution was supposed to be only charging for labor was the wages
for your labor was private. So it was an exchange for your body to do the work for the money. And the government was like, again, Hamilton argued this, that you cannot charge people to work. That why is the government going to need a license or tax you on your labor? That's between you and the person that hired you. So income tax was always supposed to be illegal anyway. So my man, essentially, when the whole idea of slavery started in this country, and again, we can go back to kind of things, and I'm jumping back and forth here. But Aaron Russo, the thing that he discovered about the income tax law, in that in his movie and documentary "Freedom to Fascism," which I'll plug in again, it's on YouTube. All right, was again, you got to check it out, and if you can, I'd like to maybe talk about that. And in this COVID-19 kind of environment, I'm kind of enjoying my platform, and I know I'm kind of like been talking for a while, but there's no action. It's me, and I'm not asking questions, but I am going to be letting you guys know. If you guys want to ask questions, you guys can always email me at Rhodes Pierre Inc. That's Rhodes Pierre, all one word, Rhodes Pierre INC at gmail.com. And just kind of email me a question for next week. And if I get, just like write down "We the People" and spell it as "we" in the French people for the word yes. And then I know it's "we the people," but I know when I say "we," I mean yes, the people as well. And then "we" in English know, and "we" in French know we mean yes, and "we" in English know we mean to us together. So "We the People," with the French blessing, the third rendition of the show, because that's literally like, yo, I've been trying to do the show for a while, and then Herb gave me the opportunity. Like I said, I feel blessed, and I say thank you, Lord. Thank you again for this platform and opportunity to talk. I'm Rhodes Pierre, your green comic, aka the dude. Again, I don't want to go too deep into what's going on. I'd like to bring other guests to talk about that, but now that I know that I have this platform, and I'll be able to bring other guests, people that are smarter than me, more more knowledgeable, and have more say. I just kind of love history and love finding things out, and and I'll love to be able to share some of that stuff with you. And thank you again for joining me and joining Herb here. Just wanted to kind of again mention the fact that we're gonna be doing this on a weekly basis. Pardon the little knock on the old microphone there. And you guys want to email me questions? That's Rhodes, RHODES Pierre PIERREINC at gmail.com. And it's "We the People." Just put in the subject line "We the People," and like I said, it's a French spelling, or "We the People," "We the People 3. Herb next week will have his set up to hear about some other YouTube people that he likes to check into. Like he says, he has a law video guy that he wants to talk about or mention. So we'll talk about that too next week. And just want to thank you guys for tuning in and checking it out. And if you guys have any ideas or topics you guys want to talk about, or you people that you think I should talk to, if y'all have their numbers, let me know. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and say thank you again for New Alliance Gallery and Studios for putting this on. I love the little space here with Herb, my man producer, and I believe at one point in time he's gonna throw some music on by his main cousin, my main man, Giova Music. Giova Music, yeah. So again, check him out too, because again, we gotta support all the "We the People." It's not the corporation, not the trust. It's the LLCs, the partnerships, the lobby groups, the NRA. "We the People," us Democrats, not Republicans, not the whites. It's not the blacks. It's "We the People," all the people. By the way, all lives matter. All lives matter. Then ensure what matters. Well, that's how I'm gonna end it for now. I guess I need my own tagline, So yeah, that's really gonna be it. You know what I'm saying? If all lives matter, ensure those lives. Ensure what matters. That's what. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah, ensure what matters. So yeah, this is gonna be a great platform, and I am definitely ready to dive into racism because, like I said, I lived like in Canada, and I've lived in Haiti, so like I've seen racism in all parts of the world, including Europe. So there's different nuances to racism and how you experience it. But I will talk to you guys next week. My name has been Rhodes Pierre. I've been your host. Thank you for the time, aka the Green Comedian, and I also do weddings, officiate weddings, and I will get my what's that thing called, my notary license, so I can be notarized. Oh yo, you are who you say you are, and you are signing it. Being an entrepreneur, I encourage that, people. You know what I'm saying? Just remember, you ain't never gonna get rich working for somebody else. The word job stands for just over broke. That's literally it. So keep working for somebody else and make them rich. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Bezos is rich. He employs a lot of people, but none of his people ever gonna be rich. Maybe number two, number three, but just remember, you can create your own economy, and it's a mindset. And thank you again. I gotta chill out. My sister always says I talk too fast, so I have to try to maybe I'll do a night show and I'll have to like chill out and actually uh seriously, this has been wonderful. I've enjoyed this, and next week I'll figure out who my first guest is going to be, but Herb's going to be here with us, and then I could have someone right here from New Alliance, you never know. And shout out to all the people here, all the other artists that I know that are here that do the good work here, and peace and love.